Hello, everybody. We are live tonight, 1019, the Watch Commander, on that channel, and also the Police Applicant Podcast channel. And we're here with our special guest, Cece Woods. Cece's looking lovely tonight, and Captain Mike. And we are going to come in tonight and do the LA Fires Part 2. And we got some other stuff here as well. I'm on the wrong page. Hang on, everybody.
You got one thing to do.
I got one job. Man. What happened? So this is what's up. Los Angeles on Fire, Part 2. Part 2 tonight. And but first, before we get started, we got some people in the room. Where are they? They're right here. And let's see here. We've got Mark Slater's logged on, checking his, what do you say? Logged on, check, beer, check. Beer, check. And then let's see here. We've got GJ. Why isn't everything showing up? I don't have his, son of a gun. I don't have his, the comments aren't all coming up all of a sudden. So right now, I put it up there, but GJ wrote a paragraph. And I'll give everybody a chance to read GJ's paragraph. But for some reason, my comments, I can't put them up here. And there you go. So we'll figure it out as we go. But welcome, everybody, to another event. We're going to be talking about the fires. But before we get that started, Mike, we got a couple things we want to put up on the screen.
Absolutely.
I believe. And this is
Bum, 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 bum.
What?
So this happened. This happened yesterday.
Hey, hold on. My compatriot says that she's not hearing the show.
She's not hearing the show. I don't see why she would not be hearing the show.
Let me see.
Why not?
Oh, there's more people on here on her phone, but she said that the show is not coming in. She doesn't.
No sound. I don't see why the sound. So no sound at all.
Can you, see if other people can maybe text or more than not and say if they can hear it.
Okay, hang on.
I don't see anything wrong here.
Let me check on my phone because I can check on my phone. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. What's happening?
At all. Can you, see if other people can text or more than not.
I'm getting sound on my phone.
Okay, hang on. I don't see anything wrong. On your, okay.
My phone because, oh, no, shut up.
Yeah. I'll just sit here, I guess.
Well,
Zippy says her phone doesn't have any sound at all for the show.
Something's wrong with Zippy.
And I'm not. It's weird because the comments. The comments aren't updating either.
Yeah, that's weird because she's got comments on her phone that aren't showing up online here.
Yeah, and I've got. Let me check here.
Okay. I mean, we can just carry on. I just would hate to do a live show with no volume.
Okay, then we can.
Yeah, but can we say? How about just ask everybody? Can you guys hear us out there? And
yeah,
comment,
that's what I asked them to, and I haven't seen a comment pop up yet. Hold on, let me see her phone.
On our screen, I don't see any comments either, but maybe on Zippy's or
experiencing technical difficulties once again.
Yeah, you're on your phone.
I'm on my phone. Okay, her phone's working now.
Oh. Let me see. I just put a comment up. Can you guys see the comment?
I can see your comment. I can't see all the other ones, though.
I don't see your comment.
That's weird.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, okay, you just popped up.
I'm trying to see what the live chat looks like. My comment shows up that I put up on my phone, but nobody else's comments are showing up. This is very strange, you guys.
What? That was the one with Paula that you could hear.
Well,
And the blonde
Stand by. I'm gonna.
Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys.
Hold on. Maybe log out and log back in and see what happens. Zippy's gonna log out and log in and see what happens.
Okay.
But I saw that there was a comment from Passe on her phone, but I don't know.
Okay, guys.
This is,
How did the other comments come through, though? The ones that
you can listen to old ones.
we're still checking, guys. Hang on.
Okay, now her phone won't even open up to the podcast. See it?
Okay.
It's just spinning.
Okay, let me look. Okay, so on 1019, the Watch Commander, I'm going there. 10 and then Police Applicant Podcast, I'm going there, and it's showing it. So that's yeah, it should be the right link for everybody.
Yeah, she's just got a hunk of burning squirrel cage there.
And does it show all? It doesn't show all of us.
Well,
Okay.
Well, here, hold on. I'll turn it sideways.
This is great.
I won't even. I won't even do that. Hold on. Let me back out.
Are you
Get
sure
back.
that phone is not having issues?
What?
Are you sure the phone's not having issues itself?
Well, it could be, but he can't get his stuff up, and nobody has even responded yet. So I'm guessing that maybe we're not on.
Oh no, we
What?
are. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, because I'm seeing it
I'm seeing
online,
it on my phone.
but I'm not getting any
Okay.
live chat.
All right. What do you want to do? Just move on?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's.
It could be ugly. People are going to say, "Hey, there was a show of
It could
nothing."
be ugly.
Hey, text Bob and ask him if he's on. We'll work on it from here. Anyways, roll us through. I mean, we've already burned 8 minutes here doing this.
Well, let me. Well, I mean, this is important that we make sure
Well,
everybody's
Very
on
much
here.
so, yeah.
And the viewership is updating as we go. It's like people are coming in, so they're on the right.
But nobody can comment, right?
There's just a slight delay. Just a
Yeah,
slight
let's
delay is what I'm seeing.
let me check something here. I know what I can do. Let me go to another browser and
Well,
check out.
Passe says nothing is on.
Nothing's on this. Nothing's being live.
Remember that happened before?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he said-
I've got it live right here. It
Yeah.
says with the red button on it.
Okay.
And the
I have two people saying it's not on. What do we do?
I've got 14 people watching, and where are they watching from?
Well,
Let me check.
they might be on there, but are they actually getting the feed?
Let me check.
Let me ask. I got a couple people who might be able to tell.
Oh wait,
Stand by.
Kevin Kazan just came on, and somebody else just came on. Hold on, I can't see who that
Well,
is.
ask them if they'll message in. There he is.
Anonymous just said what? And Kevin Kazan said,
Can
"Hi,
you guys can you guys see us and hear us?
Okay, so Kevin said he couldn't find it on 1019. YouTube is fine from Bubble Pop Inc.
Okay, everybody's all the comments are on now.
Okay.
And it said someone just said they're leaving the room. That was from Passe.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, if people aren't getting it, I mean,
Go to the other channel then. If there's one channel that's not working, go to the other channel, right? Luck of the Irish said yes.
All right.
Great. So
all right. You know what? Maybe they got to log on through the police applicant broadcast. Let me try.
I went to the Police Applicant Podcast. We're live, and then I can tell right now there are 4 people watching from the Watch Commander 1019, the Watch Commander channel. Look at what's happening. All of a sudden, now we're getting them all.
Yeah. We are.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Let's move on. We don't need
Okay.
We don't
We're
need an
sorry.
audience. Let's go.
I sent the link from
Yeah,
your
see,
from your YouTube show.
Kevin can't find it on 1019.
Okay.
Okay, so technical difficulties on that level.
Technical difficulties, guys, and thank you guys. Luck of the Irish, everybody. I can see and hear you. Kevin says, yeah. And then Anonymous says that they can hear us too. So sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are here. I don't know what happened to the link. The link should have worked, but okay, fine. What was I doing here? I was going to say
President.
this happened yesterday. This happened yesterday. The interesting thing about this particular thing is that the portraits, these are the official portraits on the White House website, and Trump looks like his booking photo on there. I think they did that on purpose, to be quite honest with you.
If anybody deserves that, like to be able to have that kind of a portrait, it's him.
Yeah. So, but we have Mike. Are you still having people checking in?
Yeah. I'm trying to, yeah. But I mean, we can go ahead and just start rolling. I'll just give up on this.
Is Zippy on the 1019 channel?
I can't tell which one she's on now. Hold on, I got to back everything out.
Okay, but we do have a video to show as well.
Yes, get that video up. That was
I'm
such
waiting for Mike to come back. Mike, come back.
Where's your text section? Start back in there. All right, go ahead. Play the video.
Let's play the video. Let me make sure everything's good.
Bob's calling.
Oh, what happened?
Hi.
That was a freaking high-level billion-dollar movie. That was like,
I did like that. I like that one.
insane.
Hey, Mike, I'm getting you're breathing into the thing there. I need you to.
I'm sorry my signs of life are disturbing you. How's that?
That's good. That's good. Wait a minute. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go into the main stuff here, and I'm going to hand it off to Cece and Mike here as we go into the fires part 2. There's a bunch of Cece has some good stuff, and there's some audio for the fires and stuff like that. So take it away, guys.
Actually, don't you think we should pull the audio up first, because I think it's pretty powerful? Can we do that?
Let's.
That throw you off?
No, it's fine. Let me hang on, guys. I gotta pull up another screen here and pull up some audio, and that's not going to do that. So let's do this. Let me make sure I'm on the right. Nope.
Actually, don't you think we should pull the That's the
What happened there? Where'd that come from?
I just I gave her my phone so she can watch the show.
Oh, okay. So it's just not working on her phone?
I don't have time to screw around with it, and she's not techie enough to get into it.
Okay, fine.
Let's just move on.
Here we go. This is really important. Listen to this.
Okay, listen up, guys.
Updated address. We have 2 new homes. One at 761 Hartford. One at 755 Hartford, fully involved.
Engine 275, Roger. We do have your 2 structure fires. Any light hazards in these structures?
That's from 275. Both structures are fully involved. Need additional companies for exposure.
Engine 275, Roger. Stand by. Engine 275 from Metro.
Over 275.
Engine 275. We've spoken with Palisades IC. We're going to attach you to the brush fire. We have no additional companies to give to you. No additional companies to give to your structure fires. We will attach you to the brush incident.
275, I copy. What are my radio channels?
Yep. So what was that about?
So that was radio transmission from another fire. Well, no, from Palisades fire, but all the units were on the Sunset fire. So they didn't have enough resources to send. So the reason why all those houses ended up burning is because they didn't have the resources. They were already on another fire, the Sunset fire. And so when this broke out, that's why they were saying, oh, it took 45 minutes for like a helicopter to show up. Yeah, they don't understand. LA City Council, specifically two of the council members, Tracy Park and Monica Rodriguez, that they were two of the votes that passed budget cuts of $48 million. Now, LAFD has been trying to catch up from original budget cuts that happened under Antonio Villaraigosa in 2008 when we had the crash. They've never made that money up. And they just keep cutting their budgets. I mean, these guys are driving around in 30-year-old rigs. Like, they don't function. They can't keep mechanics. They can't get parts. Like, it is a sad state of affairs. I thought LASD was bad. LAFD, same. They just don't have Luna running the show. So
Yeah, I think the city council is just crossing their fingers and hoping, well, nothing happened this season. Let's just take some more money from them and give it to the homeless and illegal aliens.
When I first put up this article this afternoon, I got text by one of these supporters of Tracy Park. No, you're wrong. You're acting like the Democrat, socialist, whatever. And I'm like, really? You're going to talk to me like that when I'm the one who's like ecstatic over Trump being president? And you're going to say that I'm pushing this democratic, socialist, whatever bullshit? And I'm like, no. In fact, he said she's such a supporter of the firefighters. Like, she goes to all the fire stations. Yeah, she does all that. Great. But guess what? She literally voted against them, and the firefighter unions gave her $400,000 for her campaign, and she voted against. She voted for these budget cuts of $48 million. That's a lot of freaking money. 48 million. Okay, and I can't even tell you there's so many stories around this fire. Guys that were. They were ready to go in, but they had no rig. They said, just put us on a bus. We'll go to the incident command post. They didn't do it. They told them to stay home. Like, that's the kind of shit that went on during this fire. And I've never seen the National Weather Service ever put up life-threatening winds, blah, blah, blah. I've never seen those graphics ever. And they had them up for 5 days. Also, how about the reservoir being dry? Okay. Now, you couple that with the insurance agents that are insurance companies that canceled all these policies before January. You don't think they knew that reservoir was dry? You don't think they have some type of high technology that they can't see, like what kind of weather is coming up in some areas or whatever? Like, yeah. At least I can't help it. It's right in front of my face. At least the state put $50 million away to Trump-proof. No, you know what? Let's talk about that for a minute. This man is not messing around. Okay? So whatever he can do to bitch slap Newsom and Bass, he's gonna do it. Okay? Like, don't think for 1 minute that that's not gonna happen, because it is. So LAFD is it's a sinking ship, just like LASD is. It's very sad. It's really sad. And the Palisades is gone. It's gone. There's nothing there. Wiped out an entire town that will never come back. That has been around for so long, has been such a huge part of Southern California history. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, there's a lot of wealthy people there. They'll be fine. They'll move on. They'll do that. They'll do whatever. They have the money." Well, there's a lot of people, just like in Malibu, that bought their houses decades and decades ago. Okay, they bought in rural areas. These were considered rural areas, and that's when they bought. They're just regular, hardworking people, and the devastation is so bad that I have all of the content that I get from all my locals. I'm in Playa del Rey. I refuse to go there. I can't do it. I went through Woolsey. I can't do it again. I can't do it again. I can't go through there and experience what I experienced again. I am staying away from that area right now.
Yeah, I will say that the same is true of the town of Altadena. I've got a picture of it in the background here. They lost 10,000 homes there. The entire the entire east side of Altadena was
10,000?
leveled.
10,000?
10,000. If you saw the satellite map that showed before and after, it looks like a battlefield. It's just been leveled. We know, my wife and I know several people who lost everything in that fire. They lost their homes, they lost their businesses. They lost loved ones. They lost their pets. I mean, it's just the destruction is absolutely unbelievable. I do want to touch on something though. You had mentioned the insurance companies. I want to bring something up that I'm not sure everyone's aware of. Everybody knows when the insurance companies started pulling out a couple of years ago. And the reason they pulled out was because the California Fair Plan, overseen by the state, only has a limited amount of resources.
Yep.
And part of the agreement was that if they get overwhelmed, all of the insurance companies licensed to operate in the state of California had to pony up the dough to help make everything right. So they said, screw that, we're out. Well, you notice they've started coming in recently over the last few months. They're bragging about, yeah, we're coming back to California. Well, they're only coming back to California because last year the insurance company, the insurance commissioner, Mr. Lara, made an agreement with the insurance companies that responsibility would go from the insurance companies to every policyholder in the state of California. That's the only reason they're coming back, because that burden was lifted off of them. And, people throughout the state had better stand by, because their insurance rates are going to go through the roof to pay for the $30 billion fiasco down here in LA County.
So what I don't understand is, who do they think can afford this? Other than Jeff Bezos,
Well, you know what?
Ellison, and the like.
You're giving them credit for actually thinking or caring about the people of the state.
Right.
They don't. That's what really pisses me off about what's happened here over through these fires and other incidents that have popped up. You can see the mismanagement, the incompetence, and the political rot that's going on in our politics. All they care about is getting that next leg up, getting that next job, getting that next, the opportunity for FaceTime. And, people are dying out there now, literally. What Ken's got up here, look at that. Look at the Palisades neighborhood. There's nothing there. How is anybody going to rebuild, especially now that the city has put a requirement that you have to go to some organization in the city to get the approval just to move the toxic waste that's on the ground?
Oh, yeah. They did that during Woolsey, too.
Yeah, you know how long that process is going to take for thousands of homeowners there and over in Altadena? Good luck. But, I'm sure you're going to talk, Cece. That's one of the reasons we wanted to have you on this week. I know that you have been delirious at times because you've been up for days, not hours, days on end.
And that's another reason why I needed to be in Playa and not in that war zone, because they haven't had power for days. They still don't have power right now, in some areas. Haven't had power, don't have gas, they can't drink the water, don't have Wi-Fi. How am I going to effectively help people navigate if I'm not in an area where I can do that for them?
You would just be over there breathing the same toxic waste that they are.
I refuse to do that. I refuse to do it. I told you I was completely traumatized during Woolsey. And I mean, I'm a tough cookie, but I'm also not, I'm very conscious about the fact that I'm not putting myself through that again. I've already been through other scares in Malibu. And that's why I moved from Malibu to Playa, which is 2 seconds away. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I was up for days, not only because of that, but because my man is on the department and he's doing 12/12s, more than 12/12s, but he's doing 12/12.
He's
I
doing
feel
16/16s. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing 16/16s. And when he gets home, like I don't sleep when I feel guilty. Like I am up when he's up and I sleep when he sleeps. And when he gets up to leave at 4:30 in the morning, I'm up with him. I don't go back to sleep. Like that's so it's been exhausting. Yeah. And I'm sure I look exhausted because I've got bags under my eyes and shit. Like because it's been nonstop. And it's like, who thought we were going to start this year with this complete and total catastrophe? Like
Yeah.
catastrophe. Like
Well,
it's
and
crazy.
something else that you brought up, Cece, we discussed this during this week, was the fact that how far were we into it? About a week when they finally got word, all you people working at fire stuff, you probably ought to have been wearing masks all this time,
Oh yeah.
because of the arsenic and all the crap in the air, that it's going to kill you and your family. And, decontaminate your clothes before you go home. It's like a week into it. Everybody's been stomping around in smoke and dust and fire, going home and now contaminating their families.
Well,
It's just,
I'm sorry.
go
I,
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
can say something else too. Like somebody, when I posted that, when you and I were talking about it, and I posted it, somebody said, "Oh, they should already know this shit, blah, blah, blah." Well, let me tell you something. When you're in the middle of a fucking war zone, pardon me, but
That's one.
it was only one for God's sakes. We're half hour in.
Oh, you're doing great.
Anyway, when you're in the middle of an emergency situation and you kick in, you don't think about that shit. You just don't. I remember during Woolsey, if I didn't have like straight smoke in my face so I had to cover my face, I didn't like when there was no smoke really left. I didn't really think, oh, I should be putting a mask on because I'm going to be jumping around and stuff. I didn't think that. I didn't think it. And it all of a sudden dawns on you, you're in survival mode and you just need to help people. Like I was in a position where they needed me to go do wellness checks on people. And it's like, you're thinking about, I need to help people and make sure that they're alive and they're okay. You're not thinking about yourself necessarily and that kind of stuff. You just don't.
Well, that's what cops and firemen signed up for, right?
Yeah.
We know that going in, and we're there to help people and save people. And I'd have been doing the same thing. I wouldn't have known, if you're going out there and like once the Altadena fire swept through, the sky was blue. The birds that were left were chirping, and you don't realize all the toxic material that's on the ground. And when you're stomping around in it, you're raising up all of this arsenic and asbestos. I mean, Altadena is an old town. I guarantee you there was a shit pot of asbestos burned. And it's going to be a toxic pit years.
There was an article today saying it's going to be weeks before the air clears, and they mentioned that asbestos is in the air, and I thought, holy cow, they did all this thing to all these buildings, they demolished and all this stuff to get rid of asbestos, and now it's just floating around in the air.
Well, I think we need to take a hard look, not just the aftermath of the fire, but the incompetence and the lack of foresight and leadership of the people that are supposed to be in leadership positions. I'm talking about county and state. Yeah, and city. The mayor knows all this is going to go on, and she's got to go dance in Ghana and sip champagne, knowing that it's going to happen. And then, the fire folks, and I believe them. They said, "Hey, once that puppy hit, it's a windstorm. We'll see you later." But if they'd have had the ability to have the resources in place and they'd have had the full reservoir that they closed down because there was a rip in the cover for a year, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Get some duct tape, go out there and go, boop, and it's done. And why would you have to take the water out of it just because the cover's off? You're afraid some bird's going to fly by and poop in it? I mean, the stupidity. And I'm talking about the Department of Water and Power, who apparently didn't even warn the fire people that reservoir had been closed.
Oh,
Um,
people knew.
Mm-hmm.
People knew.
the
That's what I'm saying. These insurance companies, they have information. They're getting information. Maybe they got satellites or whatever the hell they have, drones or whatever they do to collect this information. And trust me, they'd have it because they know, like they do brush density, like all the brush that, all the area that burned during Palisades fire was a large portion of that brush area in Topanga was 60 years old. 60,
sure.
60
Yeah,
years old.
that happens because they don't clear it out, especially like it's probably state property, or I know people's property butts right up against a lot of the state property. State doesn't clear it because you can't hurt that chipmunk that's down there, or that beetle that's crawling around. Trump made a big deal about not able to rake the forests, and people made fun of him. It's like, what are you going to rake the forest? Yeah, that's what they call it. They got these big ass machines that go in there and literally rake out all that dead crap. And if the fire department had been able to do that, if they'd have been able to do hydrant testing, which apparently they had to cancel because they didn't have the funds for it.
Yes, that's true.
They didn't have enough fire equipment. They don't have enough
I did
fire
hear that.
personnel. It's the same thing with the sheriff's department. Shame on LA County and the board of supervisors, who I think mostly out of spite, when they were mad at Villanueva, canceled their funding, and I think they're 2,000 sworn down. 2,000 people that could have been out there helping get people out quicker. And my whole thing is, yeah, once it starts, bingo, bango, bongo, the fire is going to come through. But if they'd had the luxury of having enough equipment and enough water and enough training, and they could have maybe saved 2,000 out of the 10,000 in Altadena. Wouldn't that be a big deal? Wouldn't that have made an impression? Yeah. So it cracks me up that these knuckleheads in these political positions, man, there's crickets chirping. None of them are saying a damn thing, except when they get together on stage and they're like, oh, thank you, Senator, for, flying in from your house in Maui to help. It's like, get out of here. Everything they're saying in those meetings are self-serving. Everything. I saw Bass up the other day, and she's like, oh, thank you for coming in, and we're going to rebuild better than ever. It's like, you just are partly responsible for the city burning to shit to the ground, and now you're going to crow about how we're going to build back better. I mean, tone deaf, ignorant, incompetent, the malfeasance and the just lack of integrity just boggles my mind.
Ken,
And that's-
I'm sending you the first city council meeting right after the fire. Hopefully it'll get to you really quickly, because this guy who reamed council a new asshole, it's on my Twitter. Would it be faster if I sent you my Twitter? I sent you the video. Maybe it would be faster. Hold on.
Why was he reaming assholes?
Because they deserved it. Hold on, let me see.
Because they
Well,
deserved
I mean,
it.
like, right? You don't think so? I think so.
Anybody in position of power that had anything to do with restricting or otherwise getting in the way of the fire department and the cops and sheriffs having the right amount of funding and personnel, they all need to burn in hell, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, here it is. Here, I'm going to send it to you right here. You want me to text it or copy the link and send it to your email? Easier? Is that easier?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be
Okay, here we
emailed,
go,
because
Ken.
otherwise, I'm gonna.
This link might be easier than getting that. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I had to finish that article today. That was the most important thing. Okay, I just sent it to you.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna go ahead and get this email.
Well, I'm gonna bring up something. Just talk about the incompetence of lack of communication. I understand that at the Altadena fire scene, I passed this on to Cece. had directed a deputy to go and guard this certain property where a body had been found. And they told him, stay here, guard that property with your life, don't move, stay here. And 2 days later, they come by and they go, oh, we forgot to tell you that scene was cleared by homicide a couple of days ago and there's nobody there. And it's like, it took 2 days to tell them. The
Oh
guy's
my
been standing there guarding the property that long. I understand that there's been a lot of there's been a lot of miscommunication, a lack of communication, and I do not blame the people on the ground. I mean, the kids, I call them kids. You know, they only know what they're trained. They only know what they've been told, and you know they're out there suffering because of all this stuff that's been going on, completely out of their purview. I see Cece waving a finger
Sorry.
at me, so.
No, it's not. It's not at you. It's at Helper's comment. Those
Mm.
3 council members that voted no in the last slide voted no because it funded the LAPD. It had nothing to do with LAFD as some claim. Okay. But the fact of the matter is they still voted no. And that means $48 million went bye-bye. And that's a huge problem. Am I wrong? Like to think that?
No,
Like,
I don't.
Is voting is it because it was LA because of LAPD? Like I don't understand. Like, and then the year before for 2024's budget it was 17.8 million, but
Lack of-
$48 million. How do you justify that?
Lack of funding is lack of funding. It doesn't matter if it's LAFD or LAPD. I'm sure LAPD has been out there suffering as much as our sheriff's deputies have.
Like, Helper, can you elaborate on what you mean by that? Like, I know why, but does the why really have any substance?
It might just,
no.
you know, he might just be doing informational only. I don't know.
Okay, I don't.
I think what he's saying is that there's people claiming that they took money from LAFD and bolstered LAPD's budget, but that's not the case. And the budgets are going to be different anyways because there's like 3,600 I believe it's like 3,600 personnel, including clerical, on LAFD, and there's close to 10,000. The budget's going to be different. Period.
LAFD, we are a wildfire area. High fire danger area. You don't take money from an agency that has to fight the wildfires. I mean, it's common
which is true. But what he's saying, what the people are saying, is they took money from LAFD and gave it to LAPD, and he's saying that's not what happened.
I would like to see that. Thank you. That would just be more to the story. Either way, it's fucking incredible mismanagement. Sorry.
Yeah, I you know, it's that old thing. Like I said, I think they're just going, oh, please, 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 please. Nothing happened this year. Let's take money from them, and we'll just justify it down the road because nothing's going to happen.
Deficit. They've been trying to make money up since.
I know, and you're right. They don't care. The city doesn't care. They've proven that, and they all need to be recalled.
What's the excuse for LASD?
Yeah, well, you know, I want to
somewhere else, and that's why LASD didn't get it. Like, help me out here. Where's the excuse?
Well, you got to wait and see what he says. Hey, Ken,
No,
I don't
know
usually.
him, and I know he's a good resource. I'm curious, like that.
Yeah.
Not understanding that.
Yeah, Ken, I don't usually do this, but you want to put up GJ's last comment so I could just mention it real quick. Hey, GJ, how you doing? What, you know, talking about Karen Bass being tried and found guilty. We went through that last week. She has immunity because she's acting in her official capacity. My guess is you're going to be able to, well, they already are. They're going to sue the city. They're going to sue the county. They're going to sue the fire department, and LAPD, and LA County Sheriff.
How many lawsuits?
That's what they're going to do. And
how are they going to even be able to get out of it?
Well, you know, and the other thing too is, you know, I know there's not all rich people in the Palisades, but I know there's also a whole bunch of people that are in those jobs that make the Palisades run. Mm-hmm. You know, like the nannies and the gardeners and the people who, you know, the waiters and waitresses, the wait staff, and the pool cleaning guys. You have thousands of people who are going to be out of work with absolutely no resource overnight. Thousands of them. Right. And, you know, all you have is the city and the county folks now getting up on these little morning
Yes, and the mayor.
puppet shows that they do, and they're trying to save their own asses instead of worrying about the people that have been totally screwed.
The other members voted yes on the mayor's budget, even with the decrease to LA. They rose the budget of LAPD. Well, I still don't understand. I still don't understand why either one of them, like, why does one have to have money and the other one not have money? I don't even understand.
Okay, I can see it. What he's saying is those three people were like, you're not going to defund LAPD any more than you already have. That's what those three people were saying. And it sounds like the money went from LAFD to LAPD, right? Or LAPD to LAFD, one or the other.
3 no's were only because it gave. I do know that. I do know that. But I'm still saying, how do you vote to defund LAFD $48 million? How do you do that, period? I don't care why. I mean, I get it. Thank you for explaining that, because I'm going to have to delve deep into actually that story. I need to focus on in and of itself, and why, because that's going to be a big story.
Well, no, because Karen Bass said we should not listen to anybody that's mad right now. She wants to fix the city, and after it's all fixed, she'll look into what went wrong.
One thing I want to mention is that you notice that last week Newsom was all over the news, and then Karen Bass was just deflecting or failing to answer questions. And then Newsom was saying, that Donald Trump, he hasn't even been here. And then Trump did he go there today, or is he going there? And both of them are silent.
Ooh.
The fire chief went silent. Bass, Newsom, they're all in hiding. I don't know where'd they go. They couldn't get off the news last
their
week.
Political operatives probably told them just to go hunker down somewhere and pull a Joe Biden and go hide somewhere for a while.
Yeah. Cece, is this you want me to play this?
Play that clip. This is
Bring
good.
back telephonic public comment. Everything I'm going to say here out is mostly not my opinion. It's straight from the mouths of LAFD personnel. Crowley and Terrasas both ignored staffing issues. Crowley had 3 budgeting periods to demand adequate funding for apparatus, including repairs, equipment, and staffing. Failed to get it. Crowley should have been screaming at the public since assuming office in 2022 about potential lethal catastrophe looming due to underfunding resourcing of LAFD. Did nothing because she's an appointed lapdog. There has been no pushback. The LAFD chief needs to be an elected position. Otherwise, we're just going to have more of the same. Last fiscal year, LAFD only had 4 months in the black, then 8 months of vendors holding debt and getting paid after the approval of a new budget. Every new budget mostly covers debts from previous year. There is no funding for LAFD. I'm speaking to the community, the 4 million Angelinos who are served by this joke of a city council. You need to understand, no frickin' money for LAFD. You need to fix that. LAFD needs to be independently audited by an outside agency. It needs to be objectively, independently assessed the necessity of so many assistant chiefs and higher up, assess the mass incompetence of the department. And just for all of you giving us your crocodile tears, we're so devastated. 12 of you voted to defund LAFD. I'm going to repeat that. 12 of you voted to defund LAFD, including you, Tracy Park, and you, Monica Rodriguez. You both love to posture as loving the fire department. You voted to defund it. And the 3 of you that didn't vote to defund, Soto Martinez, Rahman, and Hernandez, you just bitched about how terrible LAPD is in your opinion. Like that there was no expression of concern about the lethal consequences of defunding LAFD. What else? And just Tracy Park in particular.
General public comment.
Yeah, you love to yammer about how much you love LAFD. The union gave you $400K. You voted to defund them. Screw you. You guys voted for a vaccine mandate under which valuable, irreplaceable LAFD employees R.J. Kilpatrick, Nate Helton, Matt Mamone, John Knox, Chris Curtis, and Ed Brockschmidt were fired for refusing to comply with this illegal pseudoscientific vaccine mandate. It's also the reason why nobody wants to work here and why you have no recruits. You all need to resign, especially the loathsome neoliberal joke of a mayor. Crowley needs to resign for having done nothing because she's an appointed lapdog. I mean, she's just a run-of-the-mill bureaucrat. She's not uniquely evil, but she needs to resign. It needs to be an elected position. You're all bought and paid for morons, and may you all rot in hell for all the people you've killed. Thank
It's so good. I've watched that thing a million times.
That was
That was
funny.
bitching. Are you kidding me? I love that shit. Y'all are bought and paid for morons. That's what I'm saying. So he did talk about the little bitch fest because of LAPD and LAFD. Like, I get it, but I still don't understand how this happens. I just don't get it. So anyway, that's that.
There you go.
Frickin'
Do you know who that guy was?
Yeah, his name is Ian. Oh, I forgot his last name right now. His name is Ian. He is on Twitter as I Hate Mandates. On Twitter X, and on Instagram is
Good.
I Hate Mandates. But he is. He's so
Well-
entertaining. I love it. But he's spot on. He's spot on with everything. Like everything that he said, I have a LA County, LA City Fire personnel that's backing up every single thing he said. Like he said, this is not out of my mouth. This is out of the mouth of LAFD personnel. So
You know what? I can tell you right now. I'm going to make a prediction. Fire Chief Crowley is not going to have to resign. She is going to be fired.
really?
I'm sure she's going to take
Yeah.
the fall for it.
Well, he just said it right there, and he's right. You know, she should have been screaming from the rooftop. And, you know, when she went against Bass, you know, on live TV, Bass is waiting and she's going to bide her time till it's over. And then she'll probably quietly step down, but she's being fired.
Well, we need to take Bass out.
Bass needs to be fired. Yeah. And you might as well take that deputy mayor who called in the fake bomb threat at City Hall. He might as well be gone
Brian
too,
Williams,
right?
is his name? Brian Williams.
I don't know, Knucklehead Smith, as far as I'm concerned, but you know, and then you know, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the sheriff and his
Look,
part in all
we
this.
still got a long way to go with all the details coming out about this fire. There's
Yep.
going to be so much more coming out on this fire. I will have so much on it, and I'm sure we're going to continue to talk about it and the political fallout. You know, it's going to be interesting. What's going to happen when Trump's here? So he's here Friday.
Well, wait a minute. They're spending $50 million to Trump-proof the state when they should probably have spent that $50 million fireproofing the state. But you know, that just shows you how immature and asinine that idiot that is the governor of California is. I mean, talk about tone deaf, and anybody that joins with him in that, tone deaf, and they all deserve to be defeated in their next election cycle.
Well, clearly the Board of Supervisors, Luna, Bass, Newsom, they all don't know how to read a room. And by read a room, I mean read the country. Okay? Read the entire country. 90% of this country voted to stop this shit, to stop this craziness, this twilight zone that we lived in for the last 4 years under the Biden administration. Period. End of story. We are done. Which is why he walked in there yesterday and said, boom, 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 sign, 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 sign. He went crazy yesterday.
Yeah, it was quite a catharsis for all of us, I think.
Oh my God. Just to hear officially, the United States only has two sexes, male and female. The fact that we had to breathe a sigh of relief to even hear that come out of his mouth tells you how crazy, absolutely, we were living through insanity the last 4 years. Insanity.
Well, you know that thing they say about the inmates have taken over the asylum. That's exactly what has happened. You know, and
fast.
you know, during the election, I'll say that even though LA County was still blue, it's a lot lighter blue than it was, and the 5 counties surrounding us all turned red.
I should have sent you that what's her name, Megan Kelly video where she has some really super liberal, a really super liberal friend that lost her house in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And she never thought she was going to hear out of this friend's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that friend called her and said, we're voting Republican now. We're done.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Wow.
that clip, and I love Megan Kelly. I listen to her podcast all the time. Megan, if you're watching, I'm right here. Yeah, she is. You know, man, she tells it like it is. She is so. I love
Yeah.
smart people, man, and she is smart. She's to the point, and she does not kowtow to anybody. And once in a while, she'll toss out an F-bomb. So more power to her.
You know, the bottom line is try to understand how something got so screwed up instead of looking for it. No, we're I think we are looking forward. I think the last 4 years taught us to look forward. But when you're being gaslighted and you live in this place, I mean, I'm a pretty strong, smart individual, clear-headed, okay? I really honestly when I saw the things that were happening under the Biden administration, like for instance, allowing taking parents' rights away and allowing children that don't even have their brains developed to make decisions about whether they are a man or I mean whether they are male or female and do it without their parents' knowledge. What the fuck is that?
Well, you know, did you hear
That's
that
craziness.
preacher lady that was on there chastising Trump yesterday? She's like,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
we have transgender and bi and gay and you know LGBTQI children who, and I'm like, no, we don't. We have
No.
maybe adults who are telling them they are. You're telling me some 4-year-old kid's like, I want to be a drag queen when I grow up, Dad.
You know what? Those people who are telling their children that and allowing their
Yep,
children
yep, yep.
who are not developed mentally, like they should have their children taken away from them. That's number one. Number two, like, look, if you're an adult and you want to make that decision, totally no judgment here. I don't have any problems. But how dare you be a government or a state or a county entity and take the rights away from the parents to know whether their children is I mean, this is insane.
You know what? I think if I was running for office today in LA County, my theme would be not today, Satan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not today, not on my watch,
Mhm.
not today. I mean, all this stuff. Thank God. You know, it's just you know, obviously, you know, there's going to be people out there who disagree with me and my opinions about stuff, but too bad. I mean, I'm trying to think about what's best for the survival of the United States. I don't want us to be another Rome and fall because, you know, everybody got stupid. So, all I can say is thank God.
Yeah. I
And
guess,
people who are worried, let's see how the next 4 years go.
you know what? Yesterday was the first time in I don't know how long that I actually felt like I could breathe a sigh of relief. Like for real, even during this catastrophe in Southern California, I felt, you know what? Somebody's in control of this country, finally. Somebody's in control, period. And I like, am I worried about California? Am I worried about where we live? Absolutely, I'm worried. But I honestly feel like the control is starting at the top and it's gonna make he's making look he's taking away foreign funding. He's suspending it for 90 days so that he can make sure he's making sure that that money goes back into North Carolina, California. Guys, Jesus. Okay. I think
Hey, you know what? Even Zippy understands that, man. She likes Megan too. I think she's the bomb.
I love
Yeah,
Megan.
yeah.
She's
yeah.
awesome.
You know,
She's smart.
what I'd really like to
There's
see
things that
is LA County now, you know, when we get out of this to get to the point where we stop having streets look like a scene from The Walking Dead, you know, with all the drug addicts and the alcoholics and the mentally ill, you know, staggering around and needles everywhere, street takeovers, stores takeovers, follow home robberies. I mean, all that crap that's been going on, that's it's got to stop. And you know, we've been over this. I don't think the guy at the top really has the ability to do that. Um, so we'll see what happens with him.
yeah, no, I did see that actually. And did all DEI federal programs pendulum has reversed? Yes, it has.
Well,
Yes.
he also put out that one that every federal employee has to get their ass back to work. And I saw a video today. It was on X, I think. And this lady's crying, talking to her friend on the phone. I have to go to work. I have to drive my car. I can't do it. I'm going to quit. It's like, okay, bye.
You know, on the 5 today, there was this thing about the federal workers having come back to work, and Greg Gutfeld, he's saying for decades, people had, you know, people at home that needed health care, and they had kids, and and we all showed up to
Yep.
work. How did we
Yep.
do that without working from
Yep.
home?
Yeah, amen.
And then Trump, there was some kind of, I don't know what it's the exact part of it, but there was some app where you could actually reserve your asylum before coming
Well,
to
it's
the
like getting a
US.
place on the fence where you're going to jump over. You got pre-approval to climb the fence in that location. It's like, talk about
Well, apparently
stupid.
they closed the app, and there's a group of 1,000 migrants that are still marching to the border. And the belief is that they're gonna let us in. And I don't think
No.
so.
Are they all walking around with full bellies and iPhones in their hands and brand
Yeah,
new
probably.
tennis shoes?
How
How's that happen?
from the other countries that they come from, they're marching. They're on foot. Where do they sleep? Where do they go to the bathroom? Where do they get food? All the way from another country through Mexico. It takes 10 days to march from wherever they're marching to the border.
Yeah. Well, I heard that the president of Mexico is actually trying to stop those caravans now when they enter Mexico from the other side. How effective she's being, I don't know, but she sees the writing on the wall. So
It'll be
And
very interesting to see what happens.
yeah,
Like Friday, I can't wait to see what comes out of his visit here. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh my God.
yeah.
And does the southern border of Mexico, is that just open? Because this has been going on for decades. Where they just come into Mexico and on their way
Well,
to the
you
U.S.
know what cracks me up is I'm sure they have passport requirements, but they're just like, oh, you're just passing through? Come on in, brother. Just go on by.
Yeah, because if you come from California into Mexico, they stop you and they ask you all kinds of stuff before you can enter from the north.
Like you're trying to sneak into the country, right? Because you like the frijoles. It's just
I don't understand.
politics, baby.
But what can I say? Well, it's a new day. That's all I can tell you is that it's a new day.
Yeah,
Right.
can't wait.
Yeah, and we have these winds until Thursday morning. National Weather Service is saying. So since today is only Tuesday, I'm gonna not get much sleep for the next couple of days.
Ew.
Sorry, Charlie.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
You guys have anything else? It's almost 8:00.
Now I'm spent on this subject for now.
We are talked
I'm
out.
talked out.
Oh, hang
I'm
on.
talked out. But we'll have more
So-
to talk about. We will.
Yep. Next week is another week. We may or may not be back until we might be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We said that
Oh,
last
yeah.
week too.
Well, as long as there is happenings going on,
Yeah,
we'll be here for the happenings. If it's just Ken and I sitting here smiling at each other, and
Next week you'll have Trump's visit here to talk about.
There you go.
yeah, well,
We could talk about that.
hopefully he'll make it very exciting.
Oh, there's no way he's not
Very
going
exciting.
to. Come on, you guys. Jesus.
Come on,
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, so, you know what? Anyways,
So,
again, I want to say condolences to everybody who lost property or families or businesses or loved ones or the pets. I honestly feel so bad for the animals because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. People know, what fire is and where to run. They don't. They're just there. And I've seen some pictures of a lot of them that have been saved out of there. They're just terrified, burned, injured, just pathetic little creatures. At least people are out there picking them up and taking them. Pasadena Humane Society, and I will give Pasadena Humane a big thumbs up because they're a no-kill shelter and they take care of them. So
Well, I will tell you this. I've had members of my community that wanted to go into those zones and take care of the pets and rescue them. And I basically said, if you want to report on them, you want to give me the report, you want to get the footage of you doing it and allow me to publish it, I'll give you a press pass. You don't have to sneak in. And sure enough, guess what? They have saved, I don't know, dozens of animals so far. So I get the coverage, and they save the animals. And that win-win.
Yeah, you know what? I posted a picture on Facebook a couple of days ago. I met some firemen from Los Banos up north, and
Oh yeah, I saw that.
they didn't really talk about the fire, but what they were all excited about was the fact that while they were up there fighting the fire, they found a red-tailed hawk that had been burned, and they saved it, and that was the most important thing to them, because everything they saw around them was just rubble. There was nothing left when they got there, and this poor thing, I mean, had burned feet. Its tail had been, burned off, so it can't fly.
Aw.
And it was dehydrated, and they took it into Pasadena Humane. Thank you, Pasadena. And they were hand feeding it and everything. So God bless the firemen and Pasadena Humane.
That's right. And James Mendoza, this is only the second day.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got 4
yeah,
years.
Yeah. So good.
Also, Cece, there was a kerfuffle with your press passes, or
Oh yeah.
or
So
somebody not.
Central. Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
saw
sorry. Yes, there was a kerfuffle. A couple of kerfuffles. Two of the girls who are writing for me on the animal stories, they were going through a CHP checkpoint, and this
Dick.
Cece's at a loss for words.
This arrogant fuck. Okay, I will be very blatant about that. He's like, he looks at my press pass, which has no less than 5 publications on it. Okay, and he looks at the girls and he's like, this is fake, this is useless, and he's threatening them. He says, I'm taking the picture of the pass, and I'm taking a picture of your driver's license, and he like threatened these girls, like, basically, and I'm gonna send it to all the command posts so that they know, or roadblocks or whatever it is, not to let you in. So the second I heard that, I was shaking. I was so angry. Okay, so I wrote a long ass letter to one of my contacts at CHP. I took screenshots of it with the officer's name in there, and I blasted it all over social media. Less than 1 hour went by, 45 minutes. So this officer was up on a Topanga roadblock. So up there, no service, no nothing. Okay, like hard to get a hold of. In less than 1 hour, that officer was ripped a new asshole by his supervisors. And they actually called me and just apologized profusely. And I was like, all he has to do is Google my publications, and he can see that we are legitimate. Go look at the websites, go look on what we report on. And he was questioning them about like bags in their car. And it's like, if my editors want to go do a good deed for somebody while they're writing a story, I'm not going to stop them from doing that. So that happened. And I guess the girls went back in again, and the officer saw the girls, and he's like, are you guys the one that made that social media post about me? And they're like, nope, that was my boss. So,
Well,
and then they, there's some certain roadblocks, and I'm like, girls, boys, get the agency, get the roadblock information, and I will get a hold of the PIO and whoever else I need to get a hold of, because they absolutely have no right to stop you from going through those roadblocks unless it's a crime scene. Like, if there's a crime scene, you can't cross a crime scene, obviously. But any other reason, they cannot stop you. Absolutely not. So, caution. If any of you are doing roadblocks and you stop my editors, I'm going to put you on blast. Don't do it.
You've
Yeah.
been doing a lot of finger pointing this show, and I don't know if you're trying to make up for the fact you're not allowed to say the F word or what. So every time you point your finger, I just assume you're going to be going, F you, F you.
No.
Hey, Mike, what's up? What's up with this, Mike?
Well, with Prop 36 kicking in, I've got a feeling that, well, here's the problem. If you still got the governor ordering like a 25% cut or 40% cut in the population in the jails, what do you do? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, close their
So-
prisons. Yeah, I don't know where he's getting the pressure from unless it's those lefty commie organizations that don't want crooks to pay the price for what they've done. I would think that the prison population is probably going to stay pretty static. What do you do with them? And I don't know. It cracks me up though. They go, well, you shouldn't do that because that means that more people are going to go to prison. It's like, well, isn't that the idea? If they're committing felonies, instead of just doing the hug a thug routine, you make it's the whole thing. You send the message. People that violate the law, they commit felonies, and they get convicted, go to prison. So what? Nobody's ordering you to rob anyone or do all that insane crap we've seen going on across the state the last couple of years.
James, I believe so. I believe there will be more people going to prison because more people will get convicted, and they're getting rid of progressive DAs.
Yeah.
So
the
hopefully-
only way for the state to get around that is to start releasing people that have been in jail for a while, and that would be an ugly recipe. So we'll have to see what happens. We need a couple more jails. My humble
we
opinion.
need them. Well, they closed 3 prisons. So Newsom, thank you. Well, they just can't. Can they just make them prisons again, or what? I don't know.
Well, maybe they want to give everybody an
gonna
ankle
go up.
monitor or something, and just send the murderer home with a stern warning and an ankle monitor. I don't know.
Yeah, because those.
But you know
work.
what? That's the state's problem. We got enough of our own down here to deal with.
That's right. So, all right. What do you guys think?
Groovy. Well, except for the 15-minute glitch at the beginning, I think we're good. I don't know how many people.
Yeah, I need my wine, guys.
You know,
It's time to sign off.
Well, I have an idea about that. I will tell you later, maybe how that glitch happened. But at any rate, we're going to come back next week. And you never know. You know what? As this saga continues, you may see Cece again, and she may drop some F-bombs.
I'm always good for a few F-bombs.
she's always good for an F-bomb or two. Yeah, I give her credit for that.
Can we get a swear jar? Because there's some stuff I want to buy, Cece. I want Cece to fund my whatever computer stuff and all that. So, but at any rate, we'll probably be back next week, and we'll probably have more current stuff. And I'll bet you for the next 4 years, every week, Trump's going to do something.
He's doing something
off.
right now. You know
And
it, right?
We'll be
He's
talking
pissing
about
somebody
that
off right now wherever he's at.
wherever he's at. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We will see you next week.